It's time for the Loco Sports Lowdown. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Araj.
Hey, Loco Sports fans, Friday night, Loco Sports Lowdown. Just myself, Justin Jarrett, and Max Araj thus far as people are matriculating back to their home studios to join us here on the World Wide Web for the Loco Sports Lowdown. I haven't called it the World Wide Web in a good while. That was fun. But busy night of high school hoops. We're still tracking down scores. We've got quite a few for you, and we'll run through those in just a moment. Waiting on Wes to join us. Marcus Walsh also popping in, and we'll see who else. If you're one of the regular suspects, or maybe even not one of the regular suspects, and you want to get in and talk Loco Sports tonight, hit us with a text or hit us in the comments, and maybe we can work it out and make it fun for everybody. But Mickelson Law Firm, our presenting sponsor of the Loco Sports Lowdown, our all-star sponsor and our original sponsor. Mickelson Law Firm stepped up back in 2017 when I was just a crazy dude who had this idea for a local sports website that would unite them all. And Mickelson's didn't even know me, but they saw that somebody was covering the Dixie State tournaments again and the All-Stars, and they wanted to be a part of that, whatever that was, and support that and keep that going. So really appreciate their support all these years, still with us after, 7.5 years, and hope to keep them on board for a long time, for the long haul. To help us keep them on board, show up with legal needs and let them know where you heard about them. Mickelson Law Firm, they can help you with all your legal needs. They're our official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. But they support everybody in the Loco. They love our mission to support all the teams and shine a light on all the teams and student athletes repping the Loco. So thank you, Mickelson Law Firm, presenting sponsor of Loco Sports Lowdown and all-star sponsor of Loco Sports in general. Here's some scores from tonight. Well, actually, before we get to that, Max, thanks for coming out to the Ville tonight. That was a good time. Coach Rayleigh took us backstage and let us pick a little pork off the butts that they'll be making into pulled pork sandwiches for the MLK weekend JV tournament. So if you're sitting around and you want to watch some of the young kids that are next up in the Loco, get out there and grab you a sandwich.
Good pork. It's some good pork, man. It's some good pork. It was really good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was really good. That was a nice treat. Canes took 2 tough L's tonight to Allendale, but continue to show progress. It's a frustrating thing, a first-year varsity program. You saw us. The girls they're playing tougher and tougher. They're really growing up. They're young, like a lot of 7th graders and 9th graders on the floor. But they're coming along. The guys, it's been frustrating for them. They came out of the gates so hot tonight, got up 7-0 and just couldn't sustain it. Allendale kind of started banging some threes, and that got them out of their rhythm and kind of started getting away from them. But still working at it. It's tough. It's hard to watch kids you love struggle.
It is. It's really tough because I can tell the talent they have. Like, I know it's there. It's definitely there. And, if they were – I think – I don't want to say this in a rude way, but I think if they were coached just a little bit more, I think that team could be something special. But, it is what it is.
And,
it's a first-year program. It's a work in progress, but
it is.
You just looking at these players, you would have hoped they would be having a better season right now.
And we're working as a whole, as a school, on being more coachable too. I'm just our overall mentality. We've kind of had we haven't had a varsity program. We've kind of had a JV mentality a little bit, and we got to have a varsity mentality of you're going to get coached, and you have to be coachable, and you have to be able to take it and make it into a positive. And so it's a 2-way street, but we're working through it, and we'll keep preaching the right things and hoping to make the right decisions and get better. That's all you can do. But not to hijack the show, because we're having a struggling year and there's lots of teams that are having really good years. So let's get into the scores from tonight. Looking at the girls first, at least what we have at this hour. Bishop England taking out Bluffton 71-33. They are still undefeated in region play. Hilton Head 42-28 over Colleton County. That's a really nice win for Hilton Head. They needed that to get back to even in the conference. Beaufort 32-28 over May River on the road. That's a nice dub for the Sharks. Yeah, Libby's trying to be more coachable too. Aren't we all? Yeah, Beaufort 32-28. Nice win for Beaufort. They stay one game behind Bishop England. They're at 3-1. Hanahan, Battery Creek don't have a score yet. Lake Marion 53, Bridges Prep 20. Don't have a Whale Branch Hampton score, but I think I can get that one pretty easily. Bamberg at Ridgeland, I don't have a score. I did not note the final of our game, but Allendale did beat Hardyville. JP2 girls drop one on the road tonight. We noted the last couple of nights that they had a really tough week ahead, and the biggest one was Friday at Trinity Collegiate. They come up short 63-45. Actually finished the half tied at 22, but just couldn't really stay within reach in the second half. Yeah. Savannah Washington had 10 points, 9 boards. Hollis Melnick had 9 points, 4 rebounds. So it sounds like Trinity was kind of able to limit some of JP2's bigger offensive threats in the second half there. But tough loss there for them. Don't have a final on Cross Thomas Hayward, but I'm sure that was big in Cross's favor. Hilton Head Prep Girls 57-43 over Patrick Henry. Of note, let me ask you a question, Max.
Okay.
Had I told you before the game that Lillian Lucas would outscore Courtney Campbell by 11 points, who do you think wins that game? Because Lillian had 28 and Courtney had 17. The Hilton Head Prep wins it by 14.
Wow.
Yeah, that says something about him. Brooke Hines had 19 tonight for the Dolphins. Yeah. Sophie Moe with 12. So good stuff there. As I see a friend joining us from the darkness. From the darkness, we welcome Marcus Walsh.
From the darkness.
Hello, darkness, at the moment. My old friend.
What's up, buddy?
That's right. That song is very underrated, let me tell you. The Simon and Garfunkel version, and then certainly the guy that's the head singer of not System of a Down, I'm sorry. Can't think of the band at the moment. But y'all know who I'm talking about.
Turn right.
I don't know. I know the OG version, and then I remember it being revived, brought back into my life by the movie Trolls.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah. It was in a scene in the first Trolls movie, which we watched many times when we were kids. Stained? Is it the lead singer of Stained?
It's not Stained. No, Kev, it's not.
7 Mary 3.
Help me out here, honey. Who's the band? Disturbed. The lead singer of Disturbed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do remember when they covered
David, whatever his name is. It's phenomenal.
Yeah,
and I mean, I was a big fan of their version of.
Doesn't Disturbed do the
Genesis
Bodies
Hit
the Floor? Isn't that them?
Bodies at the floor.
I don't think so. I think that's Slipknot. Sam's telling me.
No. Bodies at the Floor. That's not Slipknot. I did see Slipknot in concert once, though.
Really?
That was.
Is it Korn?
Oh, it's Drowning Pool. It's Drowning Pool.
Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
It's Drowning Pool. It's all these D names, bro. I knew it was a D band.
Yeah, right. I got you.
I could see the CD in the D section at Slackers CDs and Games in Columbia, Missouri, circa 2003.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. by the way, we're heading back from Nona Rosa. Outstanding Italian food.
Very nice. Very nice.
The pappardelle bolognese. Goodness gracious. The chocolate cream puffs. Oh.
Man, I'm gonna have to send him a bill for
chocolate mousse. Oh.
I'm gonna have to send him a bill for this ad.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Phenomenal.
Sounds good, man.
Hopefully Jess is watching right now too.
You missed out though, because out at the Ville, Max and I did get treated to some pulled pork fresh off the smoker from Coach Baylor. So if you want some of that, go check out some JV basketball at the Ville on Saturday and Monday.
Good. I'm not lying. It was good. It was some good
pork, man. Bussing, right?
That stuff just came clean off, you know.
I need you to say, Coach Rayleigh, that pork was bussing. No, we just ran through, Marcus, the girls'
Max,
scores.
I think you've been you've definitely been challenged.
Challenged for what?
Yeah, I want you to say, Coach
Say
Rayleigh, that pork be bussin'.
What? That pork be bussin'?
Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Yeah, we gotta get you. We gotta get you into the vernacular of
I got
Brazil.
well, actually, I'll save that for parting thoughts. I will save what I'm thinking for parting thoughts.
All right, we're losing people, so we should probably get back on track. Marcus, some scores in case you missed them. Bishop England girls 71-33 over Bluffton. Hilton Head 42-28 over Colleton. Buford 32-28 over May River. We'll check the highlights from Buford's zone here in a little bit. Lake Marion 53-20 over Bridges. Allendale beat Hardyville. I did not note the final. 63-45. Trinity Collegiate knocks off JP2. Hilton Head Prep 57-43, despite Lillian Lucas having 28 points, 11 more than Courtney Campbell, thanks to 19 from Brooke Hines.
And real quick, are these all girls' scores?
Those are all girls. Colleton Prep 45-35 over St. John's Christian. Now, to the boys' side. Bluffton 72, Bishop England 59. Bobcats bounce back with a big win. Hilton Head 64, Colleton County 45. I was asked, who's this number 21 for Hilton Head? I said, Reese Stewart. And he said, that Joker is stroking it. And he had 20 and a half. I don't know.
Money in the
I don't
bank.
know how many he finished with, but he must like to shoot up in Colleton in the best barn in the Loco. And May River trounces Buford 70-37. Sharks still undefeated in region. Hampton County 62-41 over the Whale. Allendale got our boys. I did not stick around for the final. Waiting on a couple others. Heard Thomas Hayward beat Cross by about 20 without Tony O'Banner, who's playing in an all-star football game.
30.
Was it 30? Oof.
Yeah, 30 plus.
Hilton Head Prep walloped Patrick Henry 72-40. And we're looking for a few others. So that's what we got at this hour.
I can't find the Whale Branch Grove game or the Battery Creek games. I cannot seem to find scores for that at the moment.
Yeah, I'm about to go social media stalking here in a minute, and I'll find a few.
Kevin,
so, talk amongst yourselves. Bussin' just means it's good. Like with food in particular, it means it's really good. Like, that's bussin'.
If you want me to say it, and I don't mean to be, if you want to say it in a white way, it's phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh, that's phenomenal. Yeah. Oh, that'd be bussin'.
That's off the hook. Off the chain. It's out of bounds.
That pork be bussin'.
Yeah, they don't say none of that.
I'm not gonna lie, it was really good.
They say it'd be bussin'.
So good.
All right. Talk amongst yourselves. What do you think about these results?
I think Bluffton, I'm not surprised at, really. At least for the boys and the girls for that matter. Bishop England, I wasn't sure what to think about Bishop England, but I have a clear understanding of where they sit in this region, I think. I think they're more middle of the pack now after losing the way they did to Bluffton boys tonight. So I think with that, I think right now, obviously the top two teams for me are Bluffton and May River, and I cannot wait for those two teams to just go at it against each other because, believe it or not, they both played in the same tournament at Bluffton during winter break or Christmas break, but they didn't play each other. So they have not played each other yet this year. So I'm excited to see how those two teams play against each other when it comes to be, because whoever wins that, for me, will be, they play twice. So I guess if you split, you just never know who's going to win that region. Right. But I have a feeling, it'll give someone the advantage to win that first game when it comes to region play between the two, because right now, from where it looks, that's where we're heading towards when it comes to who's going to sit on top of the region. If there's another team in that region who'd be knocking on the door with those two teams, for me right now, I don't think it's Bishop England. I think it's Hilton Head.
I agree.
Despite their record, I think Hilton Head is knocking on that door of being in that group with Bluffton and May River, especially with that win against Bluffton this past week. So I'm intrigued to see how this shapes out, but I think I have a little more of a clear understanding of where Bishop England sits in all of this. After losses now to both May River and Bluffton.
And I'll tell you what, guys. I talked to Betsy McDaniel about it. Obviously, we cover 7-4A, formerly 7-4A, now 6-4A, at WHHI pretty extensively. Obviously, I mentioned to you guys, I mentioned to her about what I've seen out of JP2 and Hilton Head Prep, as well as those 6-4A teams. And a lot of the times I focus on the teams exclusively that I'm going to cover. But with seeing more teams in between those 6-4A games in the Bluffton Classic, again, I got to see both Hampton County teams. And I am really impressed with what those programs have going on. They look really good. They've got some length. They've got a little bit of, muscle behind them too, both the boys and girls. But that's the first thing that I look for, in all honesty, in terms of like overall matchups, especially teams that I don't know as well, is how tall are they? Do they look like they can push some people around? Not necessarily literally push them around, but can they give them a physical matchup? And I saw that with Hampton County, and I don't think they're going anywhere. They're not going away, rather, in 2A. I think they're going to be there to stay for quite some time. But I couldn't agree more with 6-4A and just the log jam, especially with the guys that we see. And again, I'm going to be seeing a lot of them with May River, Bluffton, Beaufort, Hilton Head. I'm going to see all those teams. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then just to get back and start calling games. I've seen a lot of games, but, in my head, and Sam can even attest to this, I'm doing play-by-play, very slowly of big plays that are going on, whatever. I just can't wait to get back behind the mic and calling the action starting Tuesday night.
Well, there's, we obviously, me and you are going to be at the Christian Academy game on Tuesday, but you talk about Hampton County. They have a huge game coming up on Tuesday. Bless you. They have a huge game coming up on Tuesday against Bridges Prep, and that could be for the region. That could be for the region, because those are the top two teams right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's too early to get into all that because they got to play a second time. But
I think Bridges Prep, if they don't show up to this game, I think we're going to have a clear thought process of who's winning that region.
Yeah, I mean, whoever wins that game,
agree with you, Max.
Whoever wins that game is in the bracket.
Yes, if they play like they did back at the Bob Classic, if Bridges plays that way again, they're going to have some serious issues, and I just think Hampton County might be a problem in this region.
Yeah, I think that was actually the game that woke them up. I think that was when I think they were kind of going through the motions, and then when Hampton kind of jumped on them, the second half they really turned it on. I think that was when they realized, like, oh, we ain't walking through this region. This is a region team right here whooping our butt. And I think Darius had some words at halftime and said, y'all better figure it out because this may not even be the best team in our region, So I think he did a good job of connecting the dots for them during that game. And I thought we saw him turn a corner in that second half, and then they've played really well since. So that both those teams, I mean, Hampton's been on a roll since then. So I think that's a really, really
good. Have they lost the game since that tournament?
I don't think so. No.
I don't think they have. From what I've seen. I was going through, again, on Monday in the office, I was going through the teams that I've seen, especially in terms of 6-4A on both the boys and girls side. And I'm like, it's again where we're splitting hairs. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to choose somebody that I'm not calling, whether it's just out of our region, out of our coverage map, I should say, which I did essentially with Hampton, or if I choose Battery Creek and whatnot. And I was taking a look at some of the numbers to make that final choice for both Hampton teams, because I had them both fifth. And especially with the guys, I'm like, I don't think they've lost.
No, they haven't. I just looked it up.
They won 6 in a row.
It's incredible. Streak.
Yeah. They're really good.
And remember,
really
they
well
lost
coached.
They drew Hilton Head Prep in the first round of that tournament.
And I got to tell you, that's right. I got to tell you, because I saw it alive and in person, certainly, or I saw it live and in person. Of course, everybody was alive. But seeing it live and in person, the head coach of that boys team is intense.
Oh, yeah.
He is so intense.
He is. Yeah. He is up in it with them, man. He's sweating. That man uses that towel. He puts that towel to the test.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I saw him sweating.
If you can't make it to that game on Tuesday between Bridges Prep and
we're fighting over it.
Sorry, and Hampton County. Guess what? It's on Buford's Own on Tuesday night, so that should be fun. I'm excited for that one. Obviously, the Bridges Preps girls is gonna have a handful against Hampton County. Hampton County has not been terrible this year for girls basketball. So
no, they've been solid, and they won tonight as well. I just found the score 40-28 over Whale Branch. So
good win.
Hampton stays perfect, I believe, in region.
Yes, they are.
And they're rolling too. They're 12-4, same record as the boys. They've won now 4 in a row since a 3-point loss to May River. So they're playing really well.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that we haven't talked enough about that Hampton County girls team, and I think they might be a dangerous team heading towards playoffs. Now we're a ways away from playoffs, but I really do like how this Hampton County team is playing. And obviously, like you said, undefeated in region play. They have not lost a game since a 3-point, a 3-point game against May River, and that's a good May River girls team too. So like. And it's very impressive to see how Hampton County girls have been playing lately, and I'm excited to see how the rest of their season goes. Because if I'm looking in their region, there's not a whole lot of competition within that region. So like they might breeze through. Hold on.
I think they are going to kind of breeze through. I mean, I think Whale Branch is no. Lake Marion's good. Lake Marion's real good.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They're 13-1.
That should be a good one. That
So,
should be a good one between those two.
Real good.
When are they playing that one?
That's JV boys. Still looking for JP.
They have Lake Marion next Thursday at Lake Marion. So that should be a huge game, and then they're at home the next week against Lake Marion.
Yeah, that boys game's low-key good too. Lake Marion boys are sneaky good as well. In fact, I'm eager to see the Bridges Lake Marion score from tonight. I haven't yet.
No,
but Lake Marion's solid. I was going to see if anybody's tweeted it yet. People are asking me.
I got the score for the girls game. I got the girls game. Lake Marion 53-20 over Bridges Prep.
I had that one. I need to get the ones I got. Yeah, I need to get the ones I got in the ticker here. But no, people are asking me in texts tonight where I'll be tomorrow. Are you going to this? Or are you going to that? I am leaving my house about 6 a.m. and going to Somerville High School to coach wrestling for as long as I can manage.
I got the boys' score here.
Here's Wesley Kerr. Is checking in.
Almost there. I do have a final score for the boys' game.
I'm doing great. Missed a couple of days, but good to be back here.
Yeah, we missed you. We've been rudderless.
Yeah.
We were very disciplined last night, though. It stayed within an hour.
Yeah.
Well,
I will say it's Marcus Walsh and Kevin Libby who make the show now. I just try to keep it afloat at this point.
No. You are the rudder, my friend.
That's enough out of you, Wes. I don't want to hear that again.
You are the rudder, my friend.
I do have a score for the Bridges boys game. Final score is against Lake Marion was 48-38 in favor of Bridges Prep. So 10-point game between Bridges and Lake Marion in that boys game. And then obviously the girls, another tough loss for that very young Bridges Prep girls team.
Yep. But on the come up, I do believe
they're on the way up. They got some players. They got some young players who are very exciting to watch, and I have good hope that they could be a team real special in the near future. Also, I like how Bridges plays. They didn't have an easy game when I watched them play against Cross. That's a good Cross girls team, but like we said the other night, that's a Cross girls team that's playing lazy, and it could have been so much more than it was. It's a very very interesting future for Bridges Prep Girls program. See how much they can improve next season, because I think at this point in the season, like they're gonna hopefully they can pick up a few more wins, but I think at this point, it's gonna be a long road ahead for the rest of the season for them.
Yeah, it's been that way for the last couple of years, unfortunately, for the Lady Bucks squad. But
Marcus, just letting you know, we can't hear you.
Oh yeah, I wondering what's going on over there.
Yeah,
yeah.
We can't see you, Wes. I don't know where you went.
I'm on my phone. Okay, I was on my phone.
Oh, there we go.
I can't switch screens right.
Yeah, you can't.
That's the problem. I was trying to look up stuff on the Google Doc.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay if we don't see you.
No, it's just fine.
Maybe it's just me. I can't hear him.
Can you hear me? Am I?
I can hear you, not Marcus.
Oh, you can't hear Marcus.
Oh wait, I can't hear Marcus either.
Yeah, I can't hear you, Marcus.
Where you went, buddy?
Hey, now you have the freedom to cuss. Just cover your mouth. Don't worry, it's okay.
I can't hear you, Marcus. You might want
to. I'll get out and get back in.
Oh, you're back.
We're good.
You got it.
Am I back?
Yeah,
you're back.
All right. Good deal.
Dang it, you didn't cuss. God, that was the one
what
moment
happened.
You ruined it.
That's why you never cuss, just in case.
Right.
Yeah.
Learn that one the hard way.
I actually nearly got in trouble for that when I was in college, because I was 99.9% sure that I sent it back to the studio after a game-winning field goal. It was homecoming day.
Oh.
Might have been the first time I did play-by-play for Ashland University. I was jacked up, 20-17. Ashland with a huge win, game-winning field goal last second. And I'm just going nuts. I'm like, we're gonna send it back to the studio. This is 88.9 WRDL Ashland. I look next to my spotter. Mind you, this was radio. We were able to get a spotter. I look next to my spotter. I look next to my color guy, and I cuss. And they're like, did he just say what I thought he said? And I actually called. I knew the guy that was doing the board back at the station, and I called him and I said, did you hear me say anything after I threw it back to you? And he said, no. And I said, are you sure? And he said, yes, I'm sure. I didn't.
Good to hear that.
I'm good. I'm in the clear. Because in my headset, I heard the click, which means obviously it's going back. But I wanted to make sure for the guys that were with me that nothing got out over the air.
Well, I mean, you're putting a lot of trust in the person on the other end to actually click that button when you send it to them.
I will admit, I almost did that during the USCB baseball game.
Well, I've let it slip because it's part of my vernacular, for better or worse, and always has been.
Well, I've had some hot mic moments, but I've never said anything.
I had a pretty bad one time, but let's just say you can't always trust the mute button. Everything was muted. There was no levels showing, but somehow it was still going through. So we thought we were muted in between innings. We had a discussion of various breakfast foods that we enjoyed, with colorful adjectives sprinkled in. And then I got a text that said, we can hear you. You know that feeling. Let's just say that broadcast was not archived.
Yeah.
So if you missed it live, there's no chance to see it again. It was a lesson learned. That's what that was.
And that's the main thing of all those things. Huge lessons.
I think it's humanizing as long as you don't say something like Tom Brenneman.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I used to love watching.
Like Tom I was Brenneman just saying how much I love waffles,
and then he said that I'm like, oof. His credibility went way down.
Well, they did. He got a second chance somehow. He was calling some ACC football this fall.
And last year too for the CW.
Yeah, but certainly, that was not obviously not a good thing that he said, and certainly a learning lesson for everyone. And
but it led to some.
The internet had fun with it. The internet had fun for sure.
Some of the best meme content of all time is related to that.
With the
and I still love. I still love Castellanos to this day. I mean, I loved him with the Cubs, but then that just took him. He ascended to another level with the Tom Brenneman thing.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable. And the drive to left by Castellanos.
Yeah.
This might be the last time you hear me on this microphone.
Make it a 4-0 ball game.
Oh Lord, that was great. MVP sponsors of LowcoSports, they keep this nonsense going. Base Hit Life, our baseball and softball themed apparel sponsor. They've got cool styles, t-shirts, hats, hoodies, all kinds of good stuff over at basehitlife.com. So go live your best base hit life. Homegrown home inspections, checks out homes in the Low Country before you buy them, and make sure they're good to go. And if you're building a new one, they'll check on it every step of the way with their phased inspection and make sure it's built right with homegrown home inspections. Hospice Care of the Low Country is now part of Mirasol Health, one of the many prongs that are providing not-for-profit care, compassionate care for life's most challenging moments. And as we all know, at Hospice Care of the Low Country, it's not about dying, it's about living. And I saw they just hired another friend of mine, Melanie Belcher, as a bereavement counselor. So that's really cool.
Okay.
Really
Good deal.
And USCB Center for Low Country Hospitality Education, all kinds of cool programs. They're the ones who make us, train up all those folks and allow us to have the best food and beverage staff in the world right here on Hilton Head Island. So thanks to USCB Center for Low Country Hospitality Education for supporting LowcoSports and grassroots local sports journalism and other fun stuff for people who want to laugh and stuff. That was like my play on the Derek Zoolander School for Kids Who Can't Read Good and want to do other stuff good too.
Yeah.
But all right, boys, let's talk about this hoops.
Yeah.
Hold on. I have some more scores for you.
All right. Bring them on.
I did manage to find Hilton Head Christian Academy Wilson Hall scores. Unfortunately, not good for Christian Academy tonight. The women's team lost 45-22. And the boys' team lost 68-54 to Wilson Hall. So a sweep for Wilson Hall at the cage tonight. Two tough losses for Hilton Head Christian.
Can you repeat those scores, please?
The scores for the women's teams, I believe the final score was 45-22 in favor of Wilson Hall. And then for the men's score, 68-54 is the final. Two tough losses for the HACA programs. Again, two young programs trying to get back on the track that both of them were at last year. So it's going to be a long road ahead for them. But they got a big game coming up on Tuesday, obviously, with myself and Marcus Walsh being there against JP2 and
Kevin Libby, of course, alongside as well as my right-hand man. We'll definitely be very happy to have you on with me for the second quarter. And speaking of that, Max, if you can, if you know about these two head coaches, talk about them rather a little bit for me and the rest of the crew.
Obviously, I don't know the men's coach well enough. The women's coach, oh lordy,
Jesse Shreve.
Too late in the night, boys. Gosh, give me a second.
Jesse Shreve.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
And Brian Brown's the guy's coach.
Yeah.
She might be the best hire they've had since they had Kenny Conroy, and obviously Kenny Conroy was a mastermind of a head coach.
Yeah.
During his time at Hilton Head Christian Academy, this might be their best hire since him. To be honest, she's very good at what she does. She knows how to coach these girls. She knows how to run certain plays. And they do a good job of it. Obviously, she doesn't have the talent that she needs in order for these to actually be extremely successful and have a really good girls basketball team. But if she gets some talent over at Hilton Head Christian Academy, one day that girls team is going to be dangerous to watch because the way she runs that offense is very, very fun to watch. It's just she doesn't have enough talent to be able to make those extremely successful just yet. So, she's the right coach to bring in when trying to build a program because it's going to help them a lot. And hopefully she doesn't leave anytime soon. I hope she doesn't leave anytime soon because what she's doing at Hillman Christian Academy is going to build that program back to the glory that they have been for almost the past 7 years. So,
Yeah,
it's
it's been
good.
Yeah, new era over there for sure. They were there every single year, racking up girls' state championships ever since I started to LowcoSports. So, I feel like there'll be a lot more exciting things to come for that girls program down the road, and just need to get that next crop of studs out there, which I have a feeling they will. I feel they'll
We should
find some.
do that.
They've competed this year. They've held their own, but building at Christian Academy, it's been a little bit of a slow grind on both those girls and those guys' sides, and
Yep.
not gonna be easy going forward for both of those teams, but definitely applaud the effort and commitment from those sides. But in the Giza ranks, I mean I think JP2 is going to be they're going to be in the mix, but 4A's
they
obviously is no joke.
Well,
Yeah,
and that's the other thing. They had a tough night tonight on the road over in Florence
well,
against Trinity Collegiate.
we haven't seen a guy score yet.
Okay, no
We
boys.
have not.
The girls' finals in.
The
Girls lost.
girls had a good first half, but not a great second half.
They were tied
at
at the
half. Yeah,
and lost by 18.
Oof.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's right. I saw that in the text.
tough second half for them, but it's a good sign for them to know that they can play a really good first half. It's just they got to finish out, especially against teams like Trinity Collegiate. And that's a strong Trinity Collegiate girls basketball team.
And
that's a very good team.
They're going to be facing a lot. They're going to face a lot more of that when they make the playoffs because they'll have to end up facing teams such as Cardinal Newman, Hammond, Heathwood Hall. Some of those big name schools that are among the top.
Tested right out of the gate in that 4A bracket. There's no doubt.
Let me have pause for just a second and bring up a topic because we started talking about some games on Tap Tuesday, including the Hampton Bridges games that are slated for Beaufort's own. But there's a snow day potential on Tuesday, boys.
Ooh.
Libby suggests a morning show with the school closings on the ticker for old time's sake.
Like the NFL draft.
My day, we got up and we watched the news to see if our school.
It's like NFL draft style.
Talk about the games we could have had on that day.
I think the remote learning, did it kill the millennial notion of the snow day? No, I don't think so. I think they are.
I don't either.
Well, first of all, like the remote learning day is not even close to a real school day. But I think the other thing is that I think the teachers have it down to an art now. I don't yet because I'm still.
Well, ever since COVID kind of changed things in terms of
the teachers who went through COVID. They know what's up now. They know what kids will do and what they won't do, and they prepare work for them.
They had to do it a whole year plus when COVID hit. So it's.
I did it. I did it when I was at college. When I was at college,
I never had to. I was all my school time was pre-COVID, so I did not experience any.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching the.
I took summer classes online before, but not
I was watching the Mass at St. Gregory the Great online today, and at the end, online they've got the principal, and she got it to a science where, and obviously you've got different grade levels that go to Masses every week. She got it to a science where you got a little science experiment that you could do, something weather related, or freezing something, or reading, a chapter or something, work on some math facts. I mean, they know what they're doing at different grade levels, I think, too, which certainly helps the more that we work through this virtual learning when we have to. And I mean, we as the society of, the world now, not me as a teacher.
I think
I'm not
is getting gremlined.
But that's.
Is he? I don't have a problem with him. It might just be you, Justin.
Maybe it's me. I'm getting gremlins over here. One second.
I will say this. Don't ever do music tutoring online
Music tutoring. Oh, good lord!
I've
sung in a bunch of choirs, and I don't know how to do it.
When I was at school, I was a music education major.
Do not know.
I never realized how music teaching would be, away from the school setting. I mean, that's one you really need. Like, you can't really do much in terms of online music.
Yeah, let me just say this: I had to tutor middle schoolers and high schoolers. I got paid doing that when I was at college, and the worst part would be trying to do it over the camera. You can hear them, but if the Wi-Fi is just a hair, like a hair off,
you're
screwed because you don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah.
JJ, are you thinking what I'm thinking right now?
At that point I had dropped.
I got Beano Cook in my head. I can hear him. Yeah. Tell him I can hear him.
Yes. At that point, I had dropped out of school right before it got really bad, and I had moved back here to Bluffton from Charleston, and all of my kids I was tutoring were in the Charleston area. So while I was tutoring them over camera, I was trying to find a new tutor for them because I knew at that point I wasn't going to be coming back to Charleston. So it was a very difficult time trying to help those kids out over a camera on your laptop, trying to see whether or not they're actually playing it properly, and whatnot. But it was a tough time for everyone, obviously.
What a nightmare. Yes, the Jarrett children have made snow angels. There was that snow in 2017 or whatever.
2018.
Yeah,
it was 18.
Remember that?
2018, right after New Year's.
Yeah.
I came home from Asheville. I came home from Asheville the week before, thinking it was going to snow up there, and then I brought the snow with me down here.
That was a good one. Like that was a legit.
That was a decent snow.
We had what do we have? 3-4 inches.
A couple inches.
Yeah, and it stuck around for a couple days. Like, and people were like going crazy.
Well, then
people were doing the most like southern redneck things, like pulling pool floats behind golf carts and stuff down the roads.
Yes, we were doing that in my neighborhood.
People were sledding down the Cross Island Bridge. It was awesome.
Man, that's fantastic.
Dude, the Cross Island Bridge would be fun.
Oh man,
unless you fall off. But
I played a little street hockey with the
yes. Very nice.
Yeah.
But yes, they did make snow angels. I'm sure there are photos somewhere on the book of faces that document this.
Let me check.
So do we want to set odds on games being played Tuesday? Because
last time I checked, it didn't really look. I mean,
it doesn't look bad during the day.
Wintry mixing. It all depends on Yeah.
I think Wednesday.
I will say, by previous experience being around the island, being in the Low Country, if we get a good sprinkling of ice, if it gets that cold, they will possibly cancel school if not going on delay, because this has happened before when I was in school there.
Wes, it's much more than that. If they get a single snowflake on the ground, they shut everything down.
Well, that's true, but not just. It might not just be snow, but the bridge can ice if it gets cold enough, and that's where the problem lies. That's why they have to
got precipitation during the day, and you've got freezing temperatures overnight.
That's where
here you've got a real risk management nightmare with the bridges.
Yeah.
Because
here's what I got
one bus goes in the river and it's everybody's ass.
I'm not driving to Beaufort for work if that's the case. I'm not going over that Broad River Bridge,
and that's why.
From what I've seen, if they want to, look ahead towards Tuesday night early and think, I don't know. Tuesday during the day looks fine.
Right. So here's what I'm calling.
Tuesday night, late in the evening into Wednesday.
And if they go early dismissal Tuesday, then there's no games Tuesday night.
Right.
Yeah. So here's what I got for you.
I think the odds of games being played Tuesday are very low.
Here's what I got for you guys. Because the situation might have gotten a little bit worse as the day gone on, as this day has gone on. So during the day on Tuesday, here's what they're potentially looking at. Mostly cloudy with a chance of snow and rain. The highs are in the upper 30s.
Yeah.
The chance of precipitation is 50%. Wind chill values as low as 15 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, that's a big factor up there.
Here's how it gets worse.
Tuesday night. Tuesday night.
Snow and freezing rain likely. Lows in the mid-20s. Chance of precipitation is 60%, and the wind chills are as low as 15.
Where is this
Weather
for?
Channel, the Weather Channel is even more bullish on snow. They're going 90% chance of precip.
And what were you looking at there, Max?
With 3 to 5 inches of snow.
I have my weather bug app.
Okay.
3 to 5 inches on Weather Channel. So they are
going
all in.
Goodness.
Oh, they're calling for it.
They're going all in.
It's gonna be like that.
And then they got 40% chance of snow until noon on Wednesday as well. So here's my thing. I've usually been an anti-snow day guy. I want my kids to go to school, right? Because I work from home. Now I'm a teacher, and we got Monday off for MLK, and Wednesday's supposed to be professional development. So if we get a snow on Tuesday, Wednesday, I get a 5-day weekend, and your boy needs a 5-day weekend. So let it snow.
Yeah.
Let it snow.
Let's go.
I just remember that Monday.
I could use one.
I just remember that. Yeah, Monday's a holiday. Yeah, Monday's a holiday too. So,
and I have Tuesday off from work, so I can go and hang out with Marcus. That's if it doesn't snow. So
I would love to call those games.
And guess what happens if it snows?
Get delayed on Tuesday.
Marcus gets to update the schedule for us.
Great. And
my god! Oh my god! Oh, what is
again?
Is this like the 5th time?
Like freaking Groundhog Day.
For the record,
call me Bill. Well, who was the guy that Bill Murray played? Phil Connors. Call me Phil Connors, except I'm a sportscaster, not a meteorologist.
Ryerson? For the record, Fish is Fish is calling the bluff on the snow. He says snow ain't happening. Yeah.
We say that at times, and then it snows, and we're like, well, crap, what are we doing now?
I mean, the only time I know you've been in the area, were you born and raised in this area, Max?
Yes, I was. I've
been
here for
and I think
years.
Same thing with you, right, Wills?
Yeah.
Yes.
Born and raised Islander. And I mean, I've been affiliated with this area since 1996. The only time that I saw snow was in 2018.
Yeah. There was a little smidge about what 08.
Yeah,
I mean, I would just come in the summer.
2003. 2003 was the last time.
Well, there was a dusting in Hardyville. In had to be like 08. It was like the second season of USCB baseball because they had a game snowed out against
possibly. Yeah, I kind of remember that. I just remember 2003 because teachers list out of teachers list out into the to outside because there were flurries on the grass. So.
There was one in between 2013 or between what was it 20.
2008.
The 14 polar vortex.
2017 because
the 14 polar vortex.
I think I was in middle school at the time. And we were on Hilton Head for a Valentine's Day party, and it snowed as we were heading home over the Cross Island Bridge. I believe that night, 49 of the 50 states had snow that night.
What year was that?
When was that?
I'm trying to remember what year that was.
I think it was 14 because I remember that there was a lot.
I'm going to go with Wes. Wes feels confident about the 2014 polar vortex.
Yes, because it's snowed in Jacksonville.
But I don't remember snow. I don't remember us getting snow.
It snowed. It didn't.
I don't think we got snow, but it got
cold. Well, look, it's snowing, and you like waking up and seeing snow on the ground are two different things.
Right.
Yeah,
that's
you can get little flurries.
A few flurries that just melt on contact don't.
That's nothing.
That's completely different if the snow actually.
Especially to us Midwest boys.
I want accumulation.
I will say this. I will say this. My dad had never driven through stuff like that before because he didn't live in a country where it snowed often unless he went an hour up into the mountains.
Oh, I ain't driving in
it. Like, it's different. But I will say, I believe that night it snowed in Jacksonville as well. if I'm trying to remember correctly. It snowed all the way down in Florida. Like that's just crazy to think about, snow in Florida.
Florida.
This ice blast looks pretty serious, you guys.
Yeah,
I've seen many.
I'll tell you what,
it's
and it's even worse when you get up to the Northeast. You're going to
Yeah.
see in the Midwest some temperatures below zero. So
yeah,
it's no
or
joke.
Texas. How I describe my dating life.
it's how I described mine for a long time too, Kev. Trust me, there's somebody out there for you.
Hey, actually, I got somebody I want to set Kev up with, but we'll see. I'm working on it.
Go for it, JJ.
You know how sometimes you just meet somebody and you're like, man, you remind me so like you have the same vibes as one of my other friends, and
that's probably how my good friend Jay Quigley set me up with Sam.
Yeah, well, I'm efforting. She seems like she's game. She doesn't seem to think that he would be interested, but I have a feeling he would be. So we'll see how it plays out. They both happen to be fans of the Boston Red Sox, so you know.
There you go.
Oh, man.
Right?
There you go.
Yeah. I'm efforting.
Listen up, Kev.
Matchmaker. I'm playing Cupid. I already ran it by him. He was into it. Ran it by her. She seemed kind of into it. So.
Oh yeah.
I think we're gonna make it happen.
Great.
Yeah, Marcus, I was looking so forward to going and doing some WHHI work with you guys. Oh well.
I mean,
man.
I'm not
saying
it ain't gonna happen. There's a
we've
chance.
had potential snowstorms. It has been
and also, if there were any games you were going to play, it would be the one between the two schools that are like 8 miles apart, right? Like,
yeah,
that one's fairly easy.
I'm not giving up hope, Max.
Yeah, I think there's still a shot.
I very well may see you Tuesday night.
Well, remember too, we're talking about skeezers here because like the Beaufort County is they're going to shut it down, and then Jasper County is going to follow them. And
here's the thing, though.
So is everybody else.
Here's the thing with that, Justin. Usually, and I've noticed this when I was at school for Christian Academy, if Beaufort County did something, Christian Academy usually followed them.
Yeah, well, everybody does.
I don't know if JP2 will, but
I remember one night.
Yeah, there have been some nights where they didn't.
Christian Academy.
Oh, some updates from Jimmy Searson. St. John's Christian boys 83, Cullinan Prep boys 60 is the final. That's a good St. John's Christian team, then. My goodness.
Wow.
I mean, they're not like Hilton Prep good.
No, but do we think there's anyone like who could give Prep like a somewhat of a fight? I know, like no one's ever going to beat Prep, but
I mean, not in the region, but maybe.
I have to take a look.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna take a look and see where all the other skeezer teams are at.
I'm gonna look real quick.
Dive into that. If you go into Max Preps, sometimes I'll just look at the computer ranking because they as you get later in the season, they do a kind of a good job.
They do.
I'm not sure what the formula is for the
gives you an idea,
but yeah.
While you're doing that, I'll shout out some varsity sponsors. DDS Web Design builds, hosts, maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online, go to ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties and helps us shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes out on the Loco frontier. Dr. Ambrose Cole, our official chiropractor, you can find him at Rooted Living Wellness, and he'll get you feeling better, mind, body, and spirit. And Reverence Wrestling Club, our official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind. Might have to grind this weekend. It's been a minute. And we got the JP2, I think it's a duels tomorrow. I know Kane's going to be there, so that'll be cool.
Okay, here we go. This is the rankings according to Max Preps. Obviously, at number 1 is Hilton Head Prep within 3A boys basketball. Number 2, now this one's I'm actually intrigued by, Myrtle Beach, Christian Academy of Myrtle Beach.
They've been pretty good.
Yeah,
over
number
the years.
3.
Yeah.
Number 3, which I don't know about this one, but I've heard they've been good. Orangeburg Prep.
They're pretty good. Their girls are real good.
Apparently, the boys are not bad either.
No, they're
number
pretty solid.
4. Number 4, PD Academy. I heard PD's good this year. Number 5, Calhoun. That could be interesting. Then you got Greenwood Christian at 6, Florence Christian at 7, Dillon Christian at 8, and then all the way down at number 9, you have Cullinan Prep. Obviously, they lost tonight, so that could be interesting. And then number 10, Spartansburg Christian. So those are your top 10 teams according to Max Preps.
I don't know.
Yeah, that Myrtle Beach Christian team could be interesting. They waxed Florence Christian on 27, and they did beat Lawrence Manning. So yeah, there are teams. I still think Prep's the team to beat, but they have to earn it. They have to earn it.
I thought Lawrence Manning was a 4A team. I didn't think they were a 3A.
No, I said they beat Lawrence Manning. I just said they beat Lawrence Manning. I said that was a good win for them because they beat Lawrence Manning. I was talking about
okay.
Yeah.
For a second, I was like, what? All right. What other? Is there any other?
You got any 4 to 6-year-old basketball highlights tonight?
I did not take any.
Circling back because I came in late. Circling back on the high school league scores for tonight. Statement win for Bluffton. Statement win for Bluffton against Bishop England. That's doing it on the road. That's some big boy stuff over there for Bluffton. Great bounce back performance after the loss at Hilton Head. So that's an important win for Bluffton. I think you learn something when you lose like that, especially against a region rival. And that's Bluffton showing that the bounce back ability after taking one to the chin like that. So I'm back all in on this Bluffton team. Hilton got off the schneid. They beat Carleton County. So nice win for the Seahawks. One you should have, but never easy on the road. That's a place where they've struggled at times in other sports and maybe basketball as well. But
sorry, what's that?
It's a tough place to play in, from what I hear over.
Not an easy place at all over there. And we got some highlights.
Yeah, I just figured we'd look at a little of this while we wrapped up the evening here. Nice.
We talked about it before you hopped on, Wes, about the Bluffton Bishop England game. You are right. It is a good game on the road at Bishop England. That is not an easy place to play. But I think, we talked about it. I think Bishop England, for me, is looking more and more like a team in the middle of the pack right now. For
the guys.
Yeah.
I think it's shaping up to be Bluffton May River, the two heavyweights.
It looks like it.
Yeah. I think, like I said it earlier, and I'm going to say it again. I don't think Bishop England's knocking on the door with May River and Bluffton. I think it's Hilton Head that's knocking on the door right now. I think they're a team like anyone should really keep a close eye on, because I really think Hilton sits in that spot right behind them.
Yeah. Never can count out the Shane Brown coach team, especially at Hilton Head. They didn't look good against May River though. They did not look good that night. I think that was part of the reason I decided I need to get some sleep, but I wasn't really excited to talk too much about it because they got waxed by the Sharks. That was a tough showing.
Your blue heart was bumming.
Hey, no, I gotta be neutral here, and I will say that May River, and Hilton was up by like 10 early in that game, but May River kind of pounced on him. A lot of Gage Duncan. He is having one heck of a season.
He is
big time spark. Yeah,
he is really quick off the bounce, and he's really creative at getting the ball to the rim in traffic.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is we look at the athleticism that Beaufort has, and they have athleticism, but as each game goes by, they're looking more and more like the record that they have right now.
Yeah. Sad to say. Don't bet against Kyrie Bowman. The kid is a trash yard mutt, and don't believe everything.
Yeah.
The mutt's doctor's got loose lips. If you haven't seen the Rock in the SNL WWE promo sketch about the trash yard mutt, you got to check it out. Libby turned me onto it. I don't know how I missed it, but my God, it's one of the funniest.
Okay, good. I was about to say, Javon had some weird rankings next to each team's name at the beginning of the game. They had Beaufort at like 19 and May River at 22, and I was like, what? That's not right. I was like, that's absolutely 100% wrong.
I don't know.
It doesn't really matter to me, but that's not right.
No, that wouldn't square with any rankings I've seen. The Max Preps RPI, May River was like 8th, and Beaufort was like way down
because they only have. It wasn't the coach's fault. I knew.
No wins in region play, and they have what, 1 win this season? But they have 2 or 3 wins.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah, that's right. 1.
Boom.
Uno.
And that just showed why they have 1 win. They just let him get an easy 3 there.
Yeah. Yeah, some letdowns. Oh, nice cut. Nice find. Sharks look good, man. Coach Bennett is the real freaking deal.
He's the real deal. So impressed.
I knew when I met him and when I heard the resume, I was like, oh boy, this guy's he's a good coach.
Big stuff right there.
I thought it would take a little longer to get him to this point. Like it was.
Yeah, they're playing some lock-in ball right now.
I've seen him. I've talked with him on multiple platforms and whatnot. I cannot wait to
I was convinced by how they stuck it to Hilton Head and just made it look easy against a really talented physical Hilton Head team. May River had their way. They had their way starting that second quarter and just kept finding the answers to attack that Seahawk group. And
we got to get KB back on
here. Yeah, I think that team could really do some damage, not just in the region, but I think in 4A, I think they could be a sleeper team by how they've been playing right now. I'm all in on the Sharks.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be fun to see which of those two teams emerges. Let's see, because those two teams have yet to play. All right, Friday night the 24th. It'll be next Friday at the Tank, Bluffton May River round 1 next Friday.
That's so good.
Yeah, agreed.
Great.
I might have to be at that one too. I don't want to miss that.
I love the way May River plays.
I don't want to miss
I think that's God. Those games are always good too.
They're always so close. They're always like tight.
So close, no matter what.
I'm gonna say this: if you're Beaufort right now, by the way, I don't know why, but they're playing man on man right now. I don't know why you would play that against May River.
No, I would play man.
Really?
Yeah. They'll shoot you out of a zone, Bo. You play a zone, they're going to shoot you right out of it.
Yeah.
I guess. No, I don't know.
Yeah.
But if I'm Beaufort, I got to be disappointed because I expected more out of this team this year, and they've just been, for me, by far the most disappointing boys team in the area this year.
This is a good question. Has anybody seen Samari?
One of them.
I don't think so. I don't think I've seen him in this game. Is he still out?
I haven't.
I mean,
it's been that kind of year for Beaufort.
Yeah. Who knows? He might not be playing anymore for all I know. I haven't been able to see them yet. So, no, he's still on the roster. So, I would assume he's still playing.
I'm planning on going to see them on the 28th against Bluffton.
All right.
Girls and guys.
I want to see them actually win a basketball game. Because this is, like, if you're Beaufort, this is frustrating because you have the talent to play these games. It's just,
been a while.
I don't know. Something's off with this team.
And well, I mean, look, the reality is losing wears on you. Losing.
No doubt.
Losing wears you down, and especially, I mean, these are kids, man. They're not fully formed emotional beings. Like they're emotionally fragile, and losing wears on everybody. So it's tough. Like you've got to play with some confidence and some belief in each other to be successful, and it's hard to do that if you're not winning.
That's very true. But I think
the snowball's rolling downhill right now, and they got to try to stop it somehow.
For me, it's like it's gone downhill since football season started.
Well, it's we talk a lot about how football season sets the tone for the school year.
And a lot of these athletes are playing baskbasketball and football.
And it was a disappointing football season.
It was.
And now we're kind of seeing things follow. I mean, I shouldn't say that. The wrestling team's having a really strong year.
Conversely, look at what Bluffton did in football this year, and they're having a nice season in hoops as well. Cardinal Ward is a big factor of that, and others too.
Same with,
like when
River for that matter.
When a lot of the same dudes were getting their butts kicked on the football field and they're not used to it, and then they come out and they're getting their butts kicked on the basketball court. Like you get down, you start sniping at each other.
I mean, at this point, Beaufort's got to be thinking, what are we doing wrong? Like, what is going on? You know, like I had such high hopes for this. I had such high hopes for this Buford team this year because I could see the athleticism that they had as a team. Yeah. And I had high hopes for them, and then they have not gotten a win in weeks. You know, it's frustrating.
They need something good right now, and maybe they can turn it around. But they're struggling right now.
I hope they do.
To shift gears a little bit, tomorrow in the Cove, tomorrow afternoon.
Yes.
1:30 for the women, 3:30 for the men against North Georgia, and Libby says, "Look out for the Sand Shark women; they're ready to pop." We're hoping the Jackal makes her return to the Cove tomorrow night, gets the boot off, and hopefully she can maintain her 57% from 3-point range.
Yeah, right.
It's just absurd. Yep. It's just absurd.
And this is a highly dangerous North Georgia women's team too. So.
The women are really strong. I mean, the guys are great too. They're both really good teams. It should be a great day. But remember, USC great. I think stunned North Georgia's women in the Cove last year. So
that was a game. I think you can't count the Sand Shark fellas either by the way they play and gritty win. Georgia wasn't easy, but they found a way late, and now hopefully you build some momentum off of that, and you look to play a full 40 minutes. That's so you have
I mean, we talked about it last night. Like there is a five-way tie for first place on the men's standings.
Crazy.
USCB is one of those teams. North Georgia is the other one.
Udala's 40 minutes of fury. How about that?
There you go. Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
40 minutes of fury.
40 minutes of fury.
Who's working with you tomorrow, JJ?
Also, we do have what's that?
Who's working with you tomorrow?
So I think I'm gonna miss the women's game because I'm going to the wrestling, but I'm gonna book it back in time for the men.
Nice.
So I think Bracken's taking the women's play-by-play. Rob Benson on color, and then Tony Bruin on color for the men. Nice. I intend to be back for that. Yes, Huddy has been tremendous. I was gonna say with regard to this, Wes, do you approve of Catwoman for Gattuso?
It was derived from El Gato.
Right. So it was brought to our attention on the Twitters, the X, Elon's hellscape, that back at Niagara or back at Canisius, she had earned the nickname the El Gato. Just El Gato. But Libby had gone a step further and gone Sleepy Cat for Gato Z's. But we've decided that she's a little more super heroic than that. So we were throwing around Wonder Woman, which made sense. But Catwoman, I think
that's perfect. That's a good mix between
Vic
those.
Peroni is the one who initially nicknamed her.
I love it.
He approved of Catwoman.
Sometimes the nickname chooses you. You don't choose a nickname. I think that's
so we were made aware of this by an account called Rosso Italian. Apparently it's a Italian meatball stand at whatever NDCL football is.
Is there handle on X?
It's basically the football league. It's NDCL football.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's a league in Chardon, Ohio, where she's from. Rosso Italian is the meatball stand at the football games, cooking meatballs since 1993. And apparently they've been tuning in to watch Lydia Gattuso and enjoy watching the Sand Shark Game Day Network. So
I like Catwoman. But
I'm a fan. I love it.
I like the sound of El Gato.
El Gato.
I
mean, she could be. We could call her, El Mujer de Gato, the Catwoman.
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Fun with that.
Yes.
El Mujer de Gato. Yeah.
Gato for
the
free.
Woman of cat. I think that's how you would say it, right?
Yes, the Catwoman. Yes.
I just want to hear.
Pretty sure the Spanish.
I just want to hear Justin go El Gato Splash.
El Gato Splash.
And agua.
El agua. Yeah, I gotta work on my Spanish so I can do some Spanish.
Get that Duolingo going.
Spanish only calls are way more high pitched. There's
no doubt.
No doubt about it.
If I was a PA for those USCB games, I'd be like, El Gato Splash.
All right. Well, I have fallen fully in love with Splash, by the way.
Yes, you have.
It's great though. It's perfect for the coat.
That's
It is
good.
perfect.
It is. It's just my signature thing now. You gotta say something when they make one, right? Let it be.
That's
Get some better audio going with the USCB crew that runs the audio and the stream for everything. And
yeah,
great.
We're trying to get that sorted out. I think it's just the mix is hard to achieve because it's so loud in the building.
Yeah, it is. It's tough.
It's really hard. Yeah, I do let an oh my go every now and then. I really don't think about. I don't know about you, Marcus. I do not think about what I'm saying. It just comes forth.
That's
the whole point. Especially when you're doing play-by-play. Of course, you're not supposed to think about it. It comes out naturally. I remember Tom Hamilton and Joe Buck talking. I heard this from Tom Hamilton in an interview that he did years ago, and he's like, "I don't script anything, just because you just react naturally to it." And Joe Buck and Tom Hamilton are about the same age. I guess Joe's a little bit younger. But Joe was at Indiana University when Tom was doing games for the Columbus Clippers, which at the time was the AAA affiliate of the New York Yankees. And so they were talking about it. This was, of course, in 2016 when both the Indians and the Yankees the Indians and the Cubs were in the World Series. And Joe was working for Fox. Tom was working for the Cleveland Indians radio network, and they talked about it. And Joe said, I did try to script something one time, and I know this for a fact too. He said, I went to read it, I lost the paper. I couldn't find the paper,
so it doesn't sound as genuine when you're.
And that's
script.
Right.
Reading a script.
Right.
I mean,
well, sometimes you kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it for last night in the Loco Lights. I have to.
That's different.
Look,
that's different.
like if I know something's going to happen, like if you're heading towards the end of the game, and you kind of thinking ahead. Okay, this is what I want the call to be. But if it's an instantaneous moment, like if it's like a, something crazy that happens. Yeah, you don't script it. You go off just your reaction of
and
it.
That's where being on the spectrum aids us, because we just
for a detail or a fact, I write it down. I rehearse it in my head, and then I know when to say it. But for the middle of action, I don't script anything.
No way.
I mean, last spring state championship game for Hill Knight Christian, I didn't even think. I just
Friday night,
started speaking. Yeah. I just started speaking. I didn't really think about it.
You're just in the moment, and it's like the Holy Spirit takes over, man. It's
take the wheel. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, when you're in the moment, it for us, it just comes out. Like you just open your mouth and you start talking, and usually. And most of the time, it turns out pretty good. So
hey, that's. I've had a couple.
Why did I say that?
Yeah,
by the way, Marcus, the Columbus Clippers are really hated by me because I'm a Toledo Mud Hens fan, and we don't like the Columbus Clippers.
There you go. I get it. I get it.
By the way, the Mud Hens field is one of the best fields in AAA baseball.
I'll have to get there.
Our producer's telling us
need to get there, and Tony Pockers.
Your voice.
I do have a parting thought.
Well, let's get to these Loco Booster Club members real quick. Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court. They are Low Country natives. They want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Eagle Creations, promotional items and custom apparel, plus much more over on Argent Boulevard. Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in downtown Ridgeland. Go get your hair cut with the legends like One Time and Tony O'Banner. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. Floor so clean, your feet will thank you. Hurricane Sports Cafe, a great spot for food and beverage out in Hampton. Good friends of Lowco, and Hudson's Seafood House on the Docks, presenting sponsor of Under the Bus and terrific purveyor of seafood sunsets and cocktails and much more. Right on Skull Creek. Beautiful Hilton Head Island. That's our Lowco Booster Club. Marcus Walsh, you had a parting thought?
Well, I mentioned, and we all probably heard this and know this. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that Dick Vitale was listed as cancer-free from multiple doctors, and he said, I don't know where I will be, but I got the clearance to call a game starting the last weekend of January. He's going to be able to call one game a week and then go on vocal rest for a couple of days and then get back to it. I officially know where that game is, and you can bet your bottom dollar, if you know me, that I'm going to be watching this game. Next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern, ESPN. Dave O'Brien, Dick Vitale at Wake Forest. The Demon Deacons of Wake Forest and Winston-Salem, North Carolina are taking on the Duke Blue Devils.
Oh, Cooper Flag and the Blue Devils.
Baby, with a capital A.
Hey, the battle on Tobacco Road. Hey, boys, that's going to be a great game to get him back on for the battle of Tobacco Road.
What a great first game back for Mr. Vitale. Huge props to him. The voice of college basketball. Yeah, he could do it all. He's great, and just the persistence he has had to go through with battling cancer. So just huge respect, and just really, really happy for him and the entire college basketball world to listen to more of the legendary voice of Dick Vitale alongside
Dave O'Brien.
Guys who have listened to a lot growing up, calling baseball games for the Boston Red Sox in particular. Yeah. Was something that got to experience this past week, and man, have I become a big mattress racing fan after what we saw at the Cove on Wednesday night. Absolute chaos on the courts. As I'll tell you what, it takes some real athleticism to get some momentum to push those mattresses forward. But you gotta have the quickness, and you have to have that extra force there at the end to knock that mattress forward on the floor. But that was some wild stuff right there. I'll tell you, there were some talented athletes there. We got some video too.
We sure do, including an epic face plant. Just epic.
Ooh, it was.
Yeah.
So, what's the technique? What's the best technique? Are you trying to slide on it? Or are you just trying?
Well, the one guy was pretty good at. He would slide before, and he would catch it with his thumbs and push it as he slid. Oh no! No mattress on that end. But her team won, and they got first round picks in the housing draft.
Ooh, that's big time.
Okay, so I have a theory about how the draft picks go. I have a well-founded theory that every kid at USCP can tell you which side of which hall on which floor of which building has the best cell phone service, and that's the first round pick. What do you want to bet?
I'd say that's a really good theory. Yeah.
Yeah. And the reason I believe that is because I have a steady stream of people who come to sit by the window in my classroom, and I'm like, "What are y'all doing?" Oh, I can get this. Only place I can get service. Kids know exactly where you can get service.
Yeah.
And that's what they want. Yeah, that's true. They're all pretty close to dining, though. I think I would want the ones between the gym and the library.
Agreed.
Those seem like
a nice spot.
Location.
Yeah.
Pretty clutch location. But it also might have to do with parking and where it's easier to find parking near your dorm. Because if you're in the middle in the cluster and you got to park a long ways away all the time, that's terrible.
Luckily for me, I had parking right outside my dorm room, so it was nice when I was
Yeah.
Well, you're supposed to, but everybody knows that there's like the congregated area.
Well, so what happens where I was, like there's a few, parking spots everybody wanted, But once you got there, you didn't want to. You didn't want to.
Don't want to give it up.
Yeah, right. So that was the hard part because say you have to go somewhere, but then you didn't want to lose a parking spot because if you don't get it back, you have to go all the way like a couple.
Right. But if you have a bad parking spot, you always volunteer to drive, hoping that you'll get a better one.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Agreed.
Yeah, because the lot was a couple minutes away from the dorm, so it was a decent walk back. But if you parked right there, it was like it was right in front of you. So that was good times. Those were interesting times.
It's true. You could probably sell ads on those these days.
But that was some
thoughts, gents.
Well, I did allude to earlier, but Dodgers with the big addition of Sasaki, which I kind of you kind of expect it to happen, but I would say I got a feel for the Blue Jays fans because the swing and a miss yet again after Ohtani a year ago, and then it's just it's always tough.
Why do the Dodgers get everything? Why?
Because they're the Dodgers. They got money.
It'll just make it so much more satisfying if they don't win the World Series, because like they're supposed to. It's supposed to be easy, but we all know that it's never easy in baseball.
I honestly thought he was going to end up going to the Padres because from what I saw the other day, I heard he was working out with the Padres, and I was like, "Ooh, he might be going to San Diego. That's great." And then he signs with the Dodgers. I'm like, "Well, crap." It's yes, it makes it more satisfying if they do lose the World Series, but the team they have right now, added with him, and Johnny is going to be ready to pitch by spring training of this year.
That's scary.
Scary.
Like the MLB is screwed at this point. And to make matters worse, the only team I thought that might have a shot at being a competitor with them, the Atlanta Braves, just lost one of their top relievers from last season to the New York Mets, and that man is unfortunately. Oh, good Lord! I'm so tired.
Minter.
Yeah.
AJ Minter. Yep.
Yes, AJ Minter.
Has signed a 2-year contract with the New York Mets.
Nasty.
He has a player option after year one. I'm going to be honest. I'm pissed. I wanted to keep him. He was a key part. He was a key part in that reliever's core. He was a key part for so many years, including a World Series champion. Back in
Juan Soto to the Mets. They've had quite an off season.
Key in the playoffs
over there.
How did the Braves get? What is the Braves doing this offseason? They have.
I don't know. It seems like they've been giving a lot of pieces away instead of.
What is Alex Anthopoulos doing? I know that guy is better than that.
Golly, I will say they have a lot of guys locked up, but young players will be cornerstones of this team. But I feel like they need a little more in terms of pitching and.
If he's planning something big, it better be soon because he's losing players left, right, and center.
It's time for him to cook, but who knows if it'll happen.
He usually does cook. I'm just waiting to see when that's actually going to happen, and I'm starting to get a little bit worried. And I think Braves fans should be too. Although I think they're going to have a good season. It's now like I feel like the Mets
in the playoffs
are now an edge over the Braves as well as the Phillies. So yeah, for sure.
Keep going versus the Dodgers.
I have a parting thought. Well, kind of an announcement, I guess. Justin knows about this. So hopefully, barring any complications, starting probably not next week, but the following week, because A, we might have snow, and B, it's a teacher's development day on Wednesday at Hardyville High School. Starting the week after, hopefully that Monday, I will be the newest teacher's assistant for Mr. Justin Jarrett in his media classes at Hardyville High School.
Fantastic!
That didn't take long.
Yeah, well, he got his thing approved, his volunteer thing, and so I was like, yeah, come a day, and he loves being at the Ville, man. The guy can't stay away. Keep showing up to the Ville.
Twice in the last week.
Libby. Did you just call him Wes again? They're officially your kids now too. Now that you're misnomering them, he's done.
Kevin, I will personally come down to your house and I will kick you in the butt. Twice you ever call me Wes again.
Twice in one night.
Oh my.
Man, I was going to show
Congrats, Max. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be working with those kids. I really I hope in my time that we can, because I noticed tonight, obviously not many people at tonight's game for Hardyville, but I want to start streaming those games alongside some of the great students that Justin's had.
That would be awesome.
And be able to do some announcing with them and try and help and teach how to do it. Some broadcasting skills and whatnot. And
well, it's just like even if I just had somebody who could like take a couple kids down to the studio and help them get set up doing something.
Y'all need a PA announcer too, because I saw the light show.
He's done some.
I saw the light show.
Light show's dope.
Start off the game.
Matter of fact,
like, oh my god! If
Max was doing some PA work for USV baseball and softball this past spring. So, yeah.
Unfortunately, however, I don't know if I'll be able to do it again this spring for USCB baseball. Unfortunately,
your work schedules
time these days, and B, it's becoming more and more difficult for USCB to hire me back next spring. I've been talking with Bracken, so I hope to be back at least to see some USCB baseball games. I'm hoping this is a much better team this coming year than last season. Although they came very close to making the playoffs for the Peach Belt tournament.
They were very close.
But I'm very excited to see how the softball team does because they've added some more pitchers to the depth that they needed on the pitching side of things.
Yeah, they definitely need more arms. So that's. Yeah, I'll be excited.
Right.
Excited.
I'm gonna bring us in for a landing, but here's my parting thought. Since Max, I just did it. Max mentioned it. Here's the intro at the Ville. That's the boys. But here come our boys.
Nice.
Yeah, look at the light show.
Heck yeah.
You need a PA. God, if you had a PA announcer for that, God, it'd be. I was like,
oh man, that's where you can come in, Max. And,
pretty cool.
Here's your hurricane.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Something. Oh God.
Man, we came out gangbusters too. Got up 7-0. I was like, we getting a dub tonight.
I know. You need a PA announcer. Hype up that crowd.
We do. We do. It's a good call.
I would honestly, I'd be like, if they're coming out, I'd be like, ladies and gentlemen, a storm surge is coming. It's hurricanes, like something crazy.
There we go. Yeah, we putting you on the mic, Bo.
All
right. Well, let's bring it in, boys. We almost made it to an hour and a half tonight. But it's Friday night, one school night. We can get a little loose on Friday, let ourselves go. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on this weekend. I suspect we'll have a Sand Trek Rewind Sunday night. We may also try to squeeze in a grind Sunday night. I'll just have to check with the boys on the wrestling side of things and see if they're available. But worst comes to worst, we'll be back Monday night. LowcoSports Lowdown. Probably this crew right here, and who knows who else.
And a big Monday night indeed, with Jalen Sneed and the Fighting Irish competing for a national championship.
Oh, God, that's right.
Oh yeah, we'll be.
And I will be wearing both Irish and Buckeye apparel.
We will keep that one short and then get off to watch football.
By the way, Marcus, if I see you come onto the show with one half of your face painted red and the other green, it's going to be a party.
That will not happen, I assure you. That will not happen.
I would love to see that. I would die of laughter if you did that. That would be funny.
I got one.
That's going to happen.
I got one more parter for you because this video just made me laugh so hard the other day.
Oh boy!
Boom!
Oh
no!
Watch this! Watch this! Watch this!
Oh!
Now catch it in slow mo. Boink, doink, boink. Oh
God!
Oh man! I laughed so hard watching.
What a way to wrap up the show.
God, she got the double whammy for that.
Okay.
Want to get away?
Yeah.
Southwest Airlines.
At that point, I'd be singing "Hello, Darkness, my old friend."
And we bring it back home, Simon and Garfunkel. And on that note, we will close this edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Thanks to all of our sponsors, especially the OGs, Mickelson Law Firm. We're about to roll out a big sponsorship push to try to get this thing funded for a good while longer and get some of these guys a little money in their pocket for their efforts. So please be on the lookout. If you own a local business or you're in a decision-making role, we'd love to talk to you about how we can promote you and help sustain grassroots local sports coverage in the Low Country. And so thanks to everyone who joined us tonight, everybody who supports, and thanks to you fellas for an enjoyable evening as always. So for Marcus Walsh, Max Araj, and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Until next time, y'all stay loco.
The Loco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Loco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go